Miss Nadine.
It's recording.
Okay, perfect. I want to thank everyone for joining today's Transportation and Public Safety Committee meeting. My name is Khadijat Oluwo, and this is our agenda. For some reason, sorry for the date, but there will be a call and thank you. I'm calling this meeting to order. Once we do that, I'm calling the meeting to order. Just bear with me, guys. For some reason, I just skipped a whole bunch of pages. I want to do roll call so we can start with Miss Monica. And Miss Monica, you could do a round robin and pick the next person to state their name, whether they're a community member, where they're from, and whether they're a committee member or a community board member.
Good evening, everyone. Monica McCain Brown, committee member. Ms. Bennett, you're next.
Adele Bennett, committee member.
Miss Liddell, pick somebody to go next.
Let's see. Anybody. Go up to it.
Who did you pick?
I didn't already say anything.
Miss Martinez, you're next.
Hazel Martinez, committee member. George Tate, I pick.
Good evening, George Tate, committee member.
Okay, and then we have Detective Skinner. You're next.
Good evening, everyone. Detective Skinner.
All right, thank you. Just to give you some clarity in regards to what is the Transportation and Committee and what's going on, we have our district manager, who is Miss Cherie Frazier, and our board chairperson, Miss Montserrat Oni. The office is located, and I'm only doing this for the new members who may not be aware of what this our committee is all about. The address for the office is 4112 Farragut Road, Brooklyn, New York. For transportation, our mandate is to advocate for roadways, maintenance, street repair, traffic control, transportation, franchises, and public transit to promote environmentally sound transportation, such as bike lanes and EV charging stations. For public safety, our mandate is to advocate for fire and police patrol matters and public safety concerns, responsible for issues concerning illegal parked cars, unlicensed plates, liaison with NYPD 67th Precinct and 70th Precinct, FDNY, NYSM, New York City Sheriffs, and traffic enforcement. To give you a glance at CB17, there are 7 neighborhoods within our district. Our 2 precincts is the 67th and the 70th. Our fire companies are engines 255, 281, 309, and ladder 157. Our primary bus routes is the B6, 18, 14, 35, 41, 44, the B46, 103, and I will include the B17. For subways is BQ25. Our key corridors are Flatbush Avenue, Church Avenue, Utica Ave, Nostrand Avenue, and Remsen Ave. For the chairman's report is just going to be a review of everything that has transpired within this committee from since last year of September 2025 up till now. So I'm going to start first with the Department of Transportation, DOT. And what we can talk about are the active projects that are taking place in CB17, which is the Flatbush Avenue bus lane and safety corridor. So as most of you are aware, there's major redesign being done in downtown Brooklyn south of through our CB17 DOC. DOT presented center running bus lanes, plans to multiple community boards in the fall of 2025. Phase 1 of the construction launched in April 2026, removing concrete medians at Flatbush Ave and Atlantic. Over 132,000 daily bus riders served. Q will be jumping signals installed at Church Avenue, Parkside, and Ocean Avenue. In regards to the next project, the next one is the East Flatbush Midwood Bike Network, which is a joint collaboration with CB14 and CB17, where Mayor Mandani has announced to restart the long-delayed bike lane network across Flatbush, East Flatbush, and Midwood. He said that they wanted to start doing that in February 2026. A part of the contingency plan was to make sure that they kept parking protected lanes planned for Cotelli Road, Dorchester, and stand bike lanes to be added to 14 additional streets plus intersection visibility upgrades. As we all know, those bike lanes were then removed and they were no longer doing it. Instead, they were going to install bike stations. The next thing is Church Avenue accessibility improvements. They did subway station at Church Avenue. The BQ will be receiving ADA upgrades per Council Member Rita Joseph. Advocacy of an investment of $3 million to go for that project. Curb ramps, strips, elevators upgrades for riders and with mobility issues. DOT is coordinating with the MTA for the capital program. Things that are delayed, paused, or canceled. The Flatbush bus lane has been put to a halt. There was supposed to be 4 projects that were going to be taking place under Mayor Adams that has been paused due to the community board complaining in opposition. Mayor Mandani mentions in 2026 that he will reverse and restart the construction. CB17 members noted and delayed affected tens of thousands of daily transit riders in the district and demanded for them to accelerate the timeline, in which right now, again, it's halted. The CB Bike Lanes Network is delayed, which, as I mentioned earlier, traffic and calming in Utica and Church Avenue. Ongoing requests to DOT for traffic and calming measures at Utica and Church Avenue surrounding the blocks. Prior to September 2005, the board had unresolved inquiries and about signaling, timing, and pedestrian crossing improvements at this key intersection. DOT responded pending as of early 2026, stating that they will work on it and that they have plans that they will present to us in the fall of 2026 pertaining to Utica and Church Avenue. As in regards to the Rumson Avenue safety study follow-up, DOT previously presented safety improvements for Rumson Avenue at the joint of CB17 and the CB18 hearing. Several recommended measurements of additional signage. Lane markings were noted as partially implemented with full completion and delayed due to DOT's capital budget constraints. In regards to NYPD, this is just to give us an overview of what has transpired within this year of our community board. As of from September 2025, the numbers of shootings went from 2 to 4. Homicides has been 0. Robberies have went up. Burglaries have went down. Felony assaults have went down, but grand larceny has went up. One of the notable things that they have noticed is that suspects are using scooters and displaying knives in robberies near Utica and Church Avenue. Grand larceny are targeting the elderly residents and surrounding victims, distracting them and having them remove jewelry. Scooter-related incidents have tracked by NYPD. With the 70 precinct, they have talked about there's a long-term reduction. Total major offenses have went down from 2001 to 2025. They mentioned that their robberies have went from 3,686 to 1,414. Robbery has been down 78%. Murders has been down 61.5% over the same precinct. The 70th precinct is ranked as the 30th safest of the 69 of the 69 precincts for some reason. In regards to enforcement actions from the 67th, we can say that they have Done 263 vehicles have been towed for alternate side violations, missing license plates, and multiple blocks covered. NYPD has been monitoring illegal parking cone incidents and response to complaints, alternate side parking enforcement, and anti-violence partnerships with Project Echo. God Squad, East Flatbush Village Inc. collaborated with NYPD on shooting response. In regards to NYPD elected officials and gun violence and community safety, Assembly Member Monique Chandler Waterman raised an alarm at September's 2025 board meeting regarding a surge of mass gun violence incidents and defined 3 or more people injured across CB17 and surrounding districts. Legislation came into September of 2025 of multiple jurisdictions convened with over 100 elected officials at federal and state levels, plus agency partners. 3 or more people were wounded in multiple shootings within a 7-day window, with 4 or more fatalities during that period. Then they implemented a new program, a new law called the Daniels Law for Mental Health Crisis Pilot, a pilot program under consideration to redirect mental health crisis calls away from NYPD to where mental health profession CB17 committee received briefings. Program aims to reduce police contact in nonviolent psychiatric emergencies. NYPD Community Safety Response, NYPD, Project Echo, GOSWAD, and East Flatbush Village Inc. responded to jointly shootings near Assembly Members District Office, rapid stabilization for victim, community de-escalation, and credit to multi-agency coordination. Councilman Farrell Lewis has secured $200,000 for new surveillance cameras for Utica and Farragut, Glenwood Road, Albany Avenue, and chronic illegal dumping hotspots in the district. Installations coordinated with NYPD and sanitation agencies. Now we're going to go to FDNY. So for FDNY, fire companies and emergency response in CB17, we have engine 255 in East Flatbush, engine 281 Flatbush and Rumson Village, engine 309 Ditmas Park and Erasmus area, ladder company 157 East Flatbush, and the battalion 33 oversees multiple CB17 companies. EMS stations coordinate through health and hospitals. A notable incident to just show that how FDNY is very important to our community. FDNY responded to a cardiac arrest at a 6-story building in East Flatbush when Patrick D. Brady collapsed while working on the roof. FDNY rapid response credited by saving this victim's life. Incident raised community discussion about building safety inspections and EMS response times in districts. In regards to community safety and building fire prevention discussions, regularly we have been receiving FDNY briefings on fire safety compliance in multifamily residential buildings. Key concern given East Flatbush has high density of older housing stock. FDNY also reported an increased attention to illegal basements and attic conversions, creating block egress and persistent issues. The committee has requested that FDNY present updated inspections, data enforcement stats for the remaining fiscal year for 2026 and for 2027. Coordination with NYPD, NYC Department of Buildings on illegal conversion complaints. Then, MTA New York City Transit. I think a lot of us all know this is what's going on in our district in regards to what is supposed to be happening. So we have key subway line serving CB17, which is the BQ, as I said before, 25, the district. We talked about Church Ave having an ADA upgrade priority. We talked about the Brooklyn Bus Network redesign and how they are willing to engage with us as they have put a halt to it and they're working on doing a new redesign. So we will be working with them for the fiscal year for 2027 in regards to what that redesign should look like. For the B41, the East Flatbush Avenue project directly impacts CB17 over 28,000 average daily riders on the B41 alone. Committee prioritized ensuring that the lane redesign preserves adequate loading zones for businesses on Church Avenue and address double parking enforcement gaps. Then the Parkside Station queue jumping signals. Bus only signals installed at Parkside at the B41/B12 northbound, southbound, and eastbound as a part of the Flatbush Bus Priority Project. Church Avenue B41 queue jump signal also installed. MTA coordination with DOT for signal timing and optimization is still ongoing. In regards to the LIR Atlantic Terminal and CB17 Gateway, is the primary commuter rail for Gateway for CB17. It serves for the Far Rockaway, Hempstead, Long Beach, West Hempstead branches via Jamaica. Approximately 25,500 daily riders ride, and that the number is supposed to be going up. They have not identified the amount, but right now it's $5 off peak and $7 during peak hours. Same thing in regards to the LIR Nostrand Avenue station. In regards to our IBX, it has been approved for them to have a 2.75 billion budget for 2025 to 2029. MTA is requesting for 5.5 billion. Engineer and design phase was launched in August of 2025. They did an environmental review that started back in October 2025. They still have yet to release the actual review on the impact, so we're still waiting for that. MTA is visiting community boards alongside 2026 CB17 and engagement. They are doing the design phase. They did have one and they're having another one via online. If anyone is interested, just shoot me a message and I will send you the actual invitation. In regards to the East Flatbush proposed stop, IBX's light rail will run 14 miles from Bay Ridge, Brooklyn, Jackson Heights, Queens, along the Bay Ridge. So a proposed station is the Flatbush Ave and will directly serve Flatbush Ave and Nostrand will directly serve CB17, connect to the 2, the 5. MTA, they held an outreach at PS 235, which was May of this year at May 7, 2026. And this is the actual route. In regards to NISM, it's just to encourage everyone to, if you do not have the app, please download the app, Notify NYC. It gives you all the alerts of what's going on. It also provides you with assistance if you did receive any flooding, and then also any power outages that are taking place and how you can benefit from it. I'm sorry, I had to drink some tea. So in regards to the New York Sheriff, we're starting to engage with them to have them start to come to our meetings so that we can have more conversations in regards to the trucks, in regards to the illegal commercial plates, the truck park, and residential and unlicensed vehicles. We are still in communication with TLC pertaining to any concerns in regards to improving quality of life for riders and safety. In regards to alternate side parking and vehicle enforcement, again, we mentioned earlier that there was 263 vehicles from September of 2025 till now that were actually impounded and towed from our district. The committee raised concerns in regards to the motorized scooters on the sidewalks and the use of scooters in robberies. We requested for coordinated enforcement. NYPD has been working on it. Traffic enforcement and DOT on illegal e-bikes and scooter operations in pedestrian areas. And that is it for my chairman's report. Any questions? Okay. Ms. Bennett? Okay, so the next is to go for the Miss Nadine. Do we have quorum? Miss Nadine, do we have quorum? Miss Nadine, do we have quorum? Okay, we'll come back to the approval of minutes. Next is Detective Skinner.
Good evening, everyone. Texas Skinner from 6-7 Community Affairs Office, giving you an update on the stats for the past 28-day period. So, in the past 28-day period, we're down 50% in shootings. We had one within the 28-day period versus two from last year. We are down in homicides. We took 0 homicides within the last 28-day period. We're actually down in robberies. We took 0 robberies within the past 28-day period. We were up in felony assaults by 7%. A lot of that, for some reason, is due to what we've been seeing was with domestic incidents. Burglaries, we're down in burglaries 10%. We're down in grand larcenies 4%, and we're also down in stolen vehicles 18%. Our current crime trend that we see that's going on is grand larcenies with certain vehicles. So, for example, Toyota Highlanders, that's the ones that we've been seeing recently for the past 28-day period. That's been targeted. Don't know why the Highlanders have been targeted. We're seeing that we're getting the idea that whatever the mechanism is, how they we don't know if they're hacking it or they're able to start it like how they had the Hyundais at one point was being easy to steal. So that right there is something that we're looking into. As far as grand larcenies, as far as crime trends that we're also seeing, is we're seeing pickpockets along the bus, the B35 route. Pretty much what they're doing is they're bumping into people on the bus, and people are getting home and realizing that their wallet is missing off their person. So if you feel a bump, don't think it's an innocent bump. Definitely make sure you constantly, check where your belongings are as far as your wallet. Keep it, instead of keeping it in your back pocket, keep it in your front pocket, or, instead of keeping it inside of your purse, keep it. If you have like one of those fanny packs, keep it in front of you, as opposed to keeping it, let's say, to the side or the rear. So that's something just to be on the lookout for. As far as burglaries, what we're seeing is people breaking into commercial vehicles. That was something that we saw a few years ago. Now we see that they're breaking into commercial vehicles, and a lot of these vehicles, they know have like tools in it from these construction sites or vehicles parked around. Let's say you have a commercial vehicle that's parked up in a lot, not a lot, like a driveway. They're coming by, they're breaking in, and they're stealing tools. So far, year to date, we have removed 43 firearms year to date off the street, illegal firearms. Abandoned vehicles, so far we've towed 369 vehicles on the tow ops that the Q team have done so far. And as far as like the illegal mopeds removed, also seized 149 illegal unregistered mopeds. That was also removed by the Q team, and that's year to date as well. And last but not least, what we're also seeing is petty larcenies from stores. Not all, but just mainly one of the stores, like the Dollar Trees, that we're seeing petty larcenies in. And the problem is that sometimes they turn into robberies because the store is fed up of the same people coming in and stealing, and then when the struggle occurs, that's when force is being used. But that's what we're seeing as far as our latest crime trends. And that's it. That's all I have.
Thank you so much. Any questions for Detective Skinner?
This is Hazel Martinez. Good evening. I would like to know what progress the precinct has made regarding the issues on Avenue D, because I am very disturbed that I don't see I see no changes whatsoever. I see a lot of commercial vehicles parked. The street is not cleared for cleaning. Those vehicles are also in all of our residential streets. Just last night, I made three 311 complaints about these vehicles have commercial plates and they're sitting in East 56th Street and on Avenue D, and they were all closed because they saw no problem. And I'm tired of the
You
lack
said
of,
you said for the alternate side of the street parking, why no one's like for street cleaning?
well, there's no street cleaning going on Avenue D right now. Those commercial vehicles and those vehicles, all those vehicles belong to Brooklyn, Dodge, Ram, Jeep, and whoever. But on East
Mhm.
56th Street,
Now
there are also
I have a
vehicles.
question. I have a question, right? As far as alternate side of the street parking, as far as for street cleaning, you said that no one is moving, right? Remember we had that meeting with sanitation and traffic, and they told everyone in the room that that's their sole thing. Has anybody tried to get traffic or sanitation on one of these meetings so
That's
they can explain?
that true, but and that also because I do deal with Teresa Cunningham. But the other issue is that it's very rare that we see police around here, but when you do see them, they'll ride around, but they don't address any of the issues. In East 56th Street, they don't have alternate side parking. There are some vans here, commercial vehicles here, and yet your police officers say that that's not a problem at night when you're not supposed to be on the street.
Yes, but again, these are things that yes, you do have to call 311. Yes. Um,
Mhm.
You also
Yes,
have the Q team members' numbers as well too. You can contact the supervisor, or you can email me, and I would forward it to them.
I don't have your
However,
email address.
sure, I'll put it in the chat. However,
Okay.
when it comes to commercial vehicles overnight,
Mhm,
um, and you said that a lot of the times the police come over here and they don't see anything, they see nothing wrong with it. I'm be honest with you, a
mhm.
lot of the time you're probably getting a patrol car. That patrol car is not that's not what they're actually going. They actually answer radio calls. The members of that who's answering like the 301 calls are Q team members. And the Q team, how they do live calls, which is also coming in live, and they try to do calls that are chronic, that's on their list that they try to attend to. So with that being said, I'll give you my email that you can send me what areas they have the cars, and I'll give it to them so they can see, they can head over there and see, what the deal is with that. As far as Jeep, has anyone ever sent a letter to corporate or try to get one of them on this meeting? That would
No
also help as well.
response. No response. And unfortunately, they were invited. They were not here. We were having other problems with Brooklyn Volkswagen at the time of the last meeting. So they have not, oh yeah, they've had plenty, confrontation. I mean, they even have, they had another one of those, barbecues or whatever they have with people driving crazy. People think the police are there because there's flashing lights down there. But when I drove past, it wasn't the police, but they have lights flashing all the time and all this smoke in the air. So I assume it's a barbecue and a lot of unsafe driving going on. But it seems like those
Which
people should be
business is this?
Fame Auto Group,
Okay.
auto body or
That
whatever it
is that
is.
the one? Is that the one that they had issues with double parked cars that traffic started hammering them?
That's well, there's both of them there. I don't even know. I believe they're probably related. They're all both together on
Right, but
on that
Fame was the
street.
one where I believe he was the young Jewish guy. He was at that meeting.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes, that's him. Yeah.
Another thing too is this: you say, Miss Hazel, that you feel that there's no police presence or police activity in that area. Again, Sector Eddie, which that covers, has the highest toll rate of abandoned vehicles in that
We
area.
don't see it.
As far as enforcement wise, you say you don't see it, but I'm telling you, we have 368 vehicles that's towed. Um, Again, too, as far as enforcement wise, Sector Eddie knocks some wood, and we have to thank God about it. Sector Eddie has the lowest amount of 911 calls. So that should be something said to say, you know what, this area, it's the fact, it's pretty good that we don't need police in a certain sense as far as that. I'm not saying you don't need service in the other end, but the police department can't do it by itself. There's other agencies that's responsible for doing things as well too. Everything, I'm sorry to say it, but everything gets dumped on the police department,
It
and
does.
all the other agencies hands off. Sanitation should be on this meeting. Traffic should be on this meeting. Sanitation explain their duties. Traffic explain their duties. Everything cannot just be dumped on the police department. I think, in all fairness, it needs to be a holistic approach by other agencies as well.
Oh, I don't just speak to the 67 precinct about the issues. I'm constantly talking
And listen,
to
I
respect
get it's
enhancement
frustrated. I 100% get it's frustrated. But at the same
but I
time, you can't sit here and say that we're not towing when I just gave you the numbers. To be honest with you, before I even had this meeting, I actually looked up the numbers of how many cars we had towed this month. We have 82 cars towed this month. From Sector Eddie, it's 25.
well, I know I don't know where you're towing them from, but I'm looking at some cars. There's a car with an accident outside of Harry Mays Park on East 56th Street. It's been there for nearly 2 months.
And that's something that maybe sanitation needs to take care of.
It has a plate on the back and they're going to refer it to you.
No, it doesn't matter because if a car has a decent amount of damage, sanitation could still tow.
Well, they don't. They said, oh, we refer it to the precinct.
Well, again,
So,
that's something that I
Detective
feel like you guys
Skinner,
need to have sanitation and other agencies on. It can't just be, like I said, it just can't be the police department that's getting the brunt of it or attending all the meetings and everyone else is not attending. I know I hear it all the time and I understand frustration, but that's like, for example, there's certain things like with the sheriff's department. The sheriff's department should be on here to explain what they
mm-hmm.
do.
Because other communities don't, they get faster service, I see, than we do. And people in this
So,
In, in,
community
Detective
in,
Skinner,
very upset with the
mhm.
precinct.
So Detective Skinner, I get, I can, I don't want to, how do I say this? I don't want to not acknowledge the work that the 67th precinct is doing. But then I do think there has to be a level of also you guys escalating it, because we can escalate it, but if you guys are not in support, and when we send emails out to kind of like piggyback off of it, I don't think other city agencies will be responsible. You do get what I'm saying?
in support as far as what though? To piggyback, what do you mean?
So, like, for example, I sent the email, I think I CC'd you in it in regards to all the issues and the concerns pertaining to East 58th, East 56, and with the Jeep, with the company. You were CCing that email. I attached videos. In that email, I sent it to the elected officials. I attached it to FDNY. I attached sanitation into it. I also include the sheriff and traffic. And I think even though I'm sending the email, to have you or someone from NYPD to kind of say, listen, this is an ongoing battle, to piggyback off of the email, to kind of say, yes, this is an ongoing thing and it does need to be escalated, can be helpful.
I agree, but the thing about it is I know Miss Hazel, you had a meeting at the what do you call it house, the Wyckoff house, and you've had heads of DOT there, you had heads of sanitation there, and you had heads of traffic there.
Mhm.
So I don't get like how one they can attend to one but not attend to a community board. It has to be some head there that we have to be a direct contact whereby they can say, okay,
Hmm.
I have to send a representative.
Yeah,
Tra-
I
Traffic
agree.
has done what they can. I've been in touch with traffic. I not
So,
traffic, not
And
traffic,
traffic
because
actually
traffic
escalated
doesn't
enforcement
do,
over there.
but
hmm
traffic, but traffic does not do all that it can. As a matter of fact, the woman that gave us her card, you could never reach her again.
So in all fairness, right? This is the thing. In all fairness, wanting more enforcement, traffic is doing more enforcement, right? Wanting more cars towed, more cars are being towed, right? You want more
Where from?
presence, and you want, like, for example, the issue with Jeep, and I get that area, right? But the thing about it is, if cars are being towed, if cars are being issued summonses, if traffic, like, just say for example, our highway guys are doing enforcement along the area, and people are still committing it,
Mhm.
if you see what's happening, it's how do we change the mentality? That's what it is. I think at certain point, us as human beings, we got to sit back and be like, okay, how do we change the mentality of why people have this thing where they feel they could do what they want? Because no matter how much summonses you issue, no matter how much tickets you give, no matter how many cars you tow, people are still doing it. So how do we change that? How do we say, you know what? Maybe if a car's parked up here, do we go after the last registered owner, or do we go after the registered owner? Maybe the fine should be a little bit higher if the car hasn't been moved in a while. We have to look at other alternatives.
it's a
How do
couple of
how
things.
do
It's a
people
joint
feel?
effort.
How do people feel that they can come to our community to do whatever they want and then go home to where they live without any kind of consequences whatsoever? Because that is what is
Has
happening here.
anybody ever
It's not the
tried to
people that live
contact
here.
So, like, in regards to, like, when I sent out the email to all of the elected officials and to all of the city agency, we did get a response from FDNY in regards to the egress part of them installing the gate and literally finding them for installing because they did it without the permits, and they have to submit um documentation to remove those things. We're still waiting for FDNY to respond.
The
When we
Department of,
spoke
sorry,
with,
Khadijah, the Department of Buildings responded as well. And I mean, I have no faith in the Department of Buildings, but they did
mhm,
come and do an inspection last week.
okay, so we're getting somewhere, right? It's just trying to get them all. It's
Yeah.
just bits. The problem is that it's bits and pieces of when things should happen. Like, it would have been ideal if FDNY, Departments of Building, NYPD, all kind of like say, "Hey, we see this email, and let's all do an inspection to see what's really going on." Because bad enough, the videos may not give you the full story, the pictures may not give you the full story, but it's enough for us to now start to send people out, right? So let's acknowledge that they're sending people out. It's how we can get you guys to be cohesive and do it all at the same time, because it's we're going to A, and then we're going to D, then we're going to J, then we're going back to B, and it's
Mhm.
not flowing properly. And that's where the process of, like, how does this process is supposed to look in regards to the cars, the illegal place, the illegal parking, the trucks being there. What is the actual process? Does it go to NYPD first, and then triggers NYPD, then triggers it to traffic then triggers it to sanitation, or is it just where, okay, well, we dealt with it, we're not going to do it this time, sanitation can do it?
You know what has to happen? There has to be a meeting. And the community
Mm-hmm.
board should really be responsible for organizing that meeting. We were supposed to have another meeting, but I was told they don't have staff, so that couldn't happen. But if you don't call them all to the room together, it's not going to be effective.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And suppose, as far as I'm concerned,
I
that's what the
totally
community
I
board should
totally
be
agree on
doing.
that because at the end of the day, another thing too, like Miss Martinez, when you had them at your meeting the next week, the DOT put back up the barrier, did they not?
Yeah.
So obviously, you had sanitation, traffic, you had representative from the police department, you had DOT, and the next week the traffic thing, the dividers went back up. So
Yeah.
I totally agree. It has to be effective with everybody's on the same page, and everybody has to be at the meeting, even down to the
And it
sheriff's
has
office.
And
Yeah.
there have to be some consequences. There are not any here. The only thing is that, I just don't vote for these people, but you have to see people around here are totally fed up. I know there's an ultimate agenda with this all, but people are, tired of it. And you know who they blame, Detective Skinner? The precinct. You should hear the things that I hear, which aren't true, but they believe them.
Miss Martinez, quick question. Are there block associations or neighborhood presidents that are on these blocks?
I am the president for all of that area.
Okay.
You should see.
Is it
And
possible,
there
like,
is one on Whitty Lane has one.
okay, I think maybe what we can do, or what we might need to do, is do a joint meeting with the Block Association Committee,
Mhm.
and then with all of the key players and elected officials, and try to see if we can do another meeting again. But with this one, it's more of holding people accountable and next steps. Like, what are your next steps? What is going to be done? And providing timelines.
There has to be some sort of agency. There has to be either business compliance or something, because why is a private business allowed to monopolize the parking on public streets? All of the street, every street.
Mm-hmm. We will work on that. Mr. Tate?
Yes, just a notation because correctly was this is suggested that not only this is increasing, but sanitation and traffic be invited and try to make them come to these monthly meeting. So it is a discussion that could be part of the discussion and not pointing fingers at each other behind closed doors. Is
Yeah.
that what you think, detective? You would like to see all three of you in this meeting? Is
Mm-hmm.
it possible?
Well, Mr. Tate, the thing about it is, right? Miss Martinez had a meeting at the Wyckoff House, and DOT was there, traffic was there, we were there, sanitation was there. And what I'm saying is that four agencies was there. The only agency that wasn't there was business compliance, right? So what I'm saying is four agencies that issues were there. What I'm saying is that obviously, and I'm going to be honest with you, the community has to come out because you can't have the heads of the agencies or electeds there and it's only like five people there. Like the community has to come out to show how serious they are. That's the other thing too. But I do agree. I think everybody needs to be there to hear what they can and what their agency think, what their agencies covers. Because this question and this from time after time has, like, for example, has been asked numerous times and the answer has been provided numerous times. And one of the things is who's in charge of alternate side of street parking for issuing summonses, and it's traffic and sanitation. Sanitation says they don't have enough people, right? Traffic says, well, we don't do enforcement in that area. You know, we try to do what we can, but that's not our sole responsibility. You know, there's times where my partner and I have called traffic and we said, hey, we need more what do you call it? We need more enforcement along Nostrand. or we don't have agencies there. So it's like one of these things. I don't know how their deployment is, because we could be thinking, okay, we don't get it, and the agents at that particular time, but there may be agents lower down Nostrand at a certain time, because there's times I may not see agents on Church, but I've seen agents down by what do you call it, Newkirk and Avenue D and stuff like that, whereby we have a serious traffic situation over there as well. So I can't speak for someone's deployment, and nor am I would try to speak for their deployment. But what I'm saying is everybody's in the same room, like how we were. Obviously, people see, okay, yeah, this is pretty serious. And I go back to that meeting because the the head of DOT saw how serious the Block Association was, and the next week the divider was back up.
So we'll work on that. Miss Adele.
Hi, yes, good evening. What I'd like to say is traffic does when people over there. In fact, there was someone there today on East 55, East 54, but there's only one person in that area, and everything can't just fall on one person. But if you go to the precinct and tell them, listen, it's a call over here, been abandoned, people are complaining, but they tell you, we put it on the list. I tried it today. I went to the 6-7. And I said, yes, this car's been here for no plates. It's being stripped. BMW. Somebody's stripping it for parts. Now, sanitation will deal with so much, but if it becomes a police matter,
What time you went to the precinct today, Mr. Dell?
it was about, I think, 11 a.m.
11 a.m.
Yes.
And you didn't see me or Officer Sandy?
I saw some officers at the front desk. I spoke to them, and I went to the admin office, and I spoke to somebody there, and they said they were going to try to get that on the list.
Who'd you speak to?
That woman's name. She's a little heavy set, nice, kind of quiet. And her name is kind of hard to pronounce.
Okay,
She was
I'll
there
ask.
she's not there in the evening, she said. She's not there in the morning. But she had copies of everything. She said she was going to put it on that list. Like I said, it needs to be a coordinated effort, not just one, but and honestly, traffic does have some issues, and I know this. You and I can talk later, okay?
Again, I think what we're gonna do for the next year is one of the objectives is to have senior leadership meeting with all of the city agencies to sit in the space, and then also the request is to allocate someone to attend our monthly meetings, right? And if they can't attend every single month, it can be bi-monthly. It can be every other month. I think the next thing is to then also get a better understanding of whose responsibility belongs to what in regards to illegal parking, in regards to the commercial plates, in regards to the trucks, in regards to abandoned cars, whatever it is that is being a plague in Mrs. Martinez's neighborhood and other neighborhoods. This is not for Miss Martinez because it's also issues in other corridors. So I think, again, I want to say thank you to Detective Skinner because you have been consistent, and the 67th precinct has been consistent in regards to attending these meetings, providing us with information. We appreciate it. But do we feel like there could be done more stuff? Absolutely. We're going to want more, like every other community board. But it's still an ongoing relationship that we're trying to figure out what are the next steps. So we'll continue this continuation in the fall in regards to what are the next steps. But Miss Martinez, I'm just happy that we're seeing small parts being done now, right? We got DOB there, we got FDNY there. Now we just need to now have the follow up. Okay, like we FDNY, DOB, NYPDs, can you guys provide us with a report of what you guys have observed? So that it's now in writing, it's now in a paper trail. So now when we do have this meeting that we're supposed to have, hopefully we'll have in the fall, that it's something that they're not saying that they are unaware of. It's something that they are aware of, and then we can continue the conversation. It's not like, oh, we have to look into this. No, you had all this time from the summer to look into this, and then to come to some type of, we need to come to some solution. How does that sound, Mr. Tate? How does that sound, Detective Skinner? How does that sound, Ms. Martinez?
I'm sorry that it has to wait until the fall, but
No,
I
we're still going to have those emails. I'm still going to be sending those emails throughout. I'm saying that just to play it safe, to have that meeting, if we can schedule it before and they all can do it, then that's great. If not, then we will then have to wait for the fall.
yeah, okay. But oh, can you please ask Detective Skinner to remember to put his email in the chat for me, please?
Yes,
Yeah, I'm
I
gonna
will.
put the email in the chat right now.
Okay.
Thank you. Miss Nadine, do we have quorum? I'm
I'm
assuming
gonna
we
give you all
don't.
our email.
Yes, Miss Khadijat? Do we have quorum?
No.
Okay, thank you. So we can't do approval of the minutes. Is NYP Transit here? I don't see them. Miss Adele, you have something to say?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say it at the end. Sorry.
What happened, Miss Adele?
No, I'll say it at the end.
Okay, so I just wanted to give just a quick overview of just, again, this is a review of what we've been able to do. We've had our meeting in September, we had our meeting in October. This is just to give you guys an overview. The only time we did not have a meeting was in February. In regards to new business, is there any new business? Miss Leone?
Hi, good evening, and good
Good
evening.
evening, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. In September, we had asked for a follow-up to DOT because earlier, I don't know if you recall, Commissioner Bray was at one of our meetings, I think the June meeting last year, and
Mm-hmm.
Chair Rudy Daly was there as well because we have an ongoing issue East 40 between Farragut and Glenwood Road, where we've repeatedly asked for the speed bumps and we have not been able to get it. At the time, Commissioner Bray said between him and Rhonda Messer, they were
And
going
she's
to,
one.
to go back and take a look at what happened,
Mm-hmm.
why it has not happened for East 40. It's still an ongoing issue. I've not heard anything. We still don't have speed bumps. And on East 39th, between Farragut and Glenwood, they got speed bumps. And
Okay.
it is less traffic.
Okay, so what I would love for you to do is if you can send me an email,
Mm-hmm.
um, send me an email so we can escalate it. I
Okay.
will escalate. I'll send out an email to Mr. Bratt and to Anthony because he's a part. Anthony took over for Rhonda,
Mm-hmm.
and so we can see what we can do in regards to it. Because I think
Mm-hmm.
sometimes they say a lot of things, but if we don't put it in writing, um, it's not heard.
Will do.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Anybody else for new business? Anybody else going once? Okay, Miss Adele.
I have a question in regards to the school zones and what we're going to be doing.
Your phone is breaking up, Miss Adele.
Here we go again. What's going to happen? The school
Okay.
zones.
Oh, in regards to the implementation of the going down to 10, the speed going down to 10 or 15?
And the cameras.
What about them?
I see a lot of cars just blowing through the intersections around schools. They're not stopping. It has nothing to do with speed. It just don't stop.
I think I brought to you guys' attention that DOT is working on installing more in the school zones. I think that was one of the first one of our mayor's objectives in regards to installing more cameras. I think it's just we're just waiting for them to install it. But what I can do is follow up with them in regards to the update. But I do know that also that Councilmember Farah also added put in a request, put in a budget for more speed camera traps. So I can double check with that. Miss Leone,
Yes.
your hand is still up.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. I just want to make sure I don't want to miss out on anything.
No, I should have taken it down. Thank you.
It's okay. Anybody else for new business? So what I wanted to do was kind of give you guys of like what some of the things that the elected officials have said that they will be doing for our district. So Councilmember Farah restored Saturday libraries at the Clarendon Rugby and secured $200K for surveillance, funded the teen photography program, paper shredding events, and announced a swimming program at the Shirley Chisholm Rec Center. Assembly member Chandler Waterman led the 100 official gun vice briefing, advocated for community center funding in the Northern District, coordinated with the Daniel Law Pilot Advocacy, rapid response to shooting near district office. The Brooklyn Borough President has a comprehensive plan for health and equity in Brooklyn that is supposed to be released. Back to school partnership, pin design competitions, and a documentary on gun violence within community conversations. Follow up. Councilmember Rita Joseph has a 2.5 for school improvements, 8.9 for trauma hospitals upkeep, $21 million for Wingate Park investment, 100 trees to be planted by Erasmus Hall, fully renovation, Church Ave. Subway accessibility upgrades, ADA accessible for foster care transitions. Senator Roxanne Prasad, mobile office hours in the district, legislative advocacy, district capital needs, and attends more community events, CB17 safety partnership, and then the district attorney, community action center, free legal service complaints, intakes. Their phone numbers at 718-250-2340. They have a summer internship pipeline that they also did, and they have active coordinations with NYPD on crime pattern prosecution. And some of the things that we can say that we did as this committee as accomplishments is that we were able to have 263 unlicensed and abandoned vehicles towed, the 200K camera network funding secure, the upgrades for Church Avenue funded, for the budget for 2027 capital budget submitted for 200 plus ideas, bus queue jump signals at Church Ave, Parkside, and Ocean Avenue, Underway is the Flatbush Ave bus lane construction, East Flatbush Midwood Bike Network restarted. The Shirley Chisholm recreation is complete. The bus redesign community review, Daniels Law's mental pilot program is under review to see if they can implement it throughout the whole 5 boroughs. Still that needs to be done is the Utica and Church traffic calming. DOT response is pending. Remsen Avenue safety upgrades partially only. Full scooter e-bike enforcement coordination and anti-robbery corridor strategy for elderly residents. And that is that. Any old new, we said there's no old business, and that is that. Any other questions or concerns? Miss Leonie?
I am good, thank you.
Okay. Miss Hazel, are you good?
Not really, but you know, it's a,
I know we're gonna
we'll
work
figure
on
it
it. I
out.
promise you're not in this by yourself. Mr. Tate?
No, other than just reminding everyone that this new 7 from council meeting is coming today.
You're breaking up,
At the
Mr.
precinct
Tate.
of the flag.
You're breaking up, Mr. Tate. Are you talking, Mr. Tate?
No, I'll hear him.
Okay.
You can hear me? No,
Yeah, I can hear you
no, I
now.
just the only thing I have is just to remind everyone that. Oh, okay. Yes, just reminding everyone that the 67 Precinct Community Council meeting that was postponed from last week will be held on Tuesday, June 30th at 7 o'clock at the precinct.
Okay.
Meeting before, um, so they have some dates on
Breaking up
National
again.
Night.
Good reminder, Mr. Tate. Yeah, since Mr. Tate is breaking up, yes, the meeting was rescheduled to June 30th because of the
I
parade.
don't know if Leonie has any more to say.
Yeah,
She's the vice president.
yeah. The meeting will take place
Yeah.
on June 30th at 7 p.m. at the precinct, and we hope to see everyone there because it's the last meeting until we break. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Anybody else? Miss Adele?
Yes, I was going to wait till the last, so I guess I will be last. As for traffic, I was at one of the roll calls, and this is last week. Now, everybody's complaining about the trucks in this community, and very little is being done. And nothing was ever said about what traffic will and won't do. But what I heard shocked me because I called them out on it. They said that the 6-6 had a complaint of commercial vehicles in their area. This was addressed at their roll call. Not once ever did I hear anything about the 6-6 doing any of their roll calls with any of their people because they'll come and tell me. Like I said, we're getting a lot of lip service, a lot of finger pointing, but they get what they need and we don't. And that's what I'm noticing. People can talk all they want. As you say, on paper, it's there. They
Mm-hmm.
get the attention. We get words. Oh, you got to blame this one. You got to blame that one. In the meantime, while you're pushing the blame game, they get all the attention. I'm not joking. They get it. And they don't do big meetings. They pick up a phone, make a call into the head of NYPD because that's who controls traffic, whether some people like to acknowledge it or not. It is not a separate, it is them. And the precinct is supposed to know. But I'm gonna tell you the truth, a lot of those officers don't know how to write those summonses. Their attitude is why bother? I see it. I see it on their face. I hear it in their voices. They just don't care. They act like they care. They don't. They become
Well,
defensive.
we're gonna
Highly.
make them care.
Yeah.
We're gonna make them care. I want to leave with hope and the fact that we are seeing something, right? The fact that they are responding. We sent out the email and we started to see people respond. They're not responding in what I would like for them to do is respond in the email so we can have it as a thread, but they're doing it individually, right? So it's small steps, but it's something. I rather them acknowledge and do something versus them just read the email and just ignore it. So it's small steps. It's just us having, we just have to be more strategic in regards to how we approach them to demand for more things. Yes, Miss
Yes.
Martina.
Well, everyone can read and ignore, but I've been a little sidelined recently, but I am getting better and I am going to call, some media or something because this has gone far enough. I mean, it's every
Yeah.
parking space is taken over by a company. No. And even our parking in our block, people who live here have nowhere to park if they don't have a driveway.
And it's residential.
And that's not that I've had enough because it doesn't go on in other communities and they wouldn't stand for it. And why are we forced to accept it?
That's what the problem is. We accept it.
So what I will do, Miss Hazel, is I will send an email tomorrow. You'll be a part of it. Just to one for them to provide updates, and then I also will call out certain ones to say, hey, we haven't heard from you, can you please give us a report back to let us know what has been done, so I don't have the problem calling people out. So I'll do that tomorrow.
Question. If other,
Yes, Ms. Bennett.
if other communities have no problem calling them out, why do we? That's how they get over. They, as she said, the woman in the traffic who gave her information, they've been ignoring you. And I asked, they've been ignoring you. Tell them anything, they'll accept it. And this has been going on too long. What other communities do, we can do too. So we're not going to accept it anymore. It's a kind of end of story, end of line. As of this date, the line is drawn, no acceptance. You do for others, you do for all.
Okay. So before we let everyone go, can I get a motion? Is there anything else before we go for a motion of adjournment?
Well, Chair Khadijat, congratulations on your upcoming appointment as treasurer.
I'm kind of scared to do it now.
You'll
Thank
do fine.
you. I'm gonna work on this. What I will do is I'm still gonna do the chair for this. But what I will be asking for is to find if someone is interested in being a co-chair, because what I'm looking for us to do is to do for us as a committee, because we haven't done any events, but to do some events for the committee, for the community, and trying to come up with that. So having someone to be the co-chair with me in regards to public safety and transportation, so that maybe if we start to do more events, we can get more people and more of the community involved, and so that we can create the noise that needs to be done in order to get people to participate.
I would like to congratulate you also. All the best.
Thank you.
Don't get shy. You can do it.
My
Not a
fingers
hard
is crossed.
stop.
My biggest concern is I want us to make sure that we get our fair share and making sure that we're doing everything right, because I know that they constantly have this negative demeanor about CB17, and I really don't appreciate it, because I think because they don't value CB17, they don't take us seriously, and I want that attitude and that environment to change. So hopefully by doing this will allow us to do, by being the treasurer, I can figure out what are the problems and some of the concerns and how we can fix it.
Yeah, new generation. Good. Hmm.
Yeah. But I enjoyed everyone, and I appreciate, thank you for everyone who did vote for me. And even if you didn't vote for me, I appreciate you too. Um, so can I get a motion for an adjournment?
Motion to adjourn, Adele Bennett.
Thank you. And can I get a second?
Hazel Martinez, second.
Thank you. So Miss Leonie, don't forget to send me the email. Miss Hazel, I'll send out the
No,
email tomorrow.
could you give me your email right off so I have it? I don't have to go hunt.
Okay, I'll put it in the chat right now.
Great, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Meeting is adjourned. Enjoy the rest of your night. And if we don't speak, enjoy your weekend. Happy 4th of July. United, we turned 250 this year. Enjoy
Have
it. If no one
A
knows,
happy day.
yeah, happy 4th of July. And just to let everyone know, they are
Hello.
doing the Macy's Day Parade, and they'll be shooting the fireworks from both sides this year to celebrate 250.
Not interested.
It's a lot of events happening. And then for anyone who is watching the World Cup, be safe, drink, enjoy, and have fun. And I will set Miss Leon, I'm going to send the email to you right now. I'm going to attach it. Just bear with me. Okay, I put it inside the chat. And if there is nothing else, thank you, everyone. This is our last meeting until the fall, but I will be in contact with a couple of you pertaining to the concerns and issues. So if there isn't anything else, we can end this meeting. And again, enjoy your weekend. Happy 4th of July, and be safe. And I can't wait to see you all, God willing, in the fall.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
feel
Miss
better.
Nadine,
You.
you can stop recording.
Okay. Happy summer, blessed evening to all.
Thank you. Good night.
Nice to see you and get well, Khadijat.
Thank you. I'm struggling. Today was the hardest because I wanted to cough so much.
Tea, lots of hot tea.
As I'm talking to you, I'm drinking tea. Who gets sick in the summer? Miss Nadine, you can stop the recording.